This one is a double. We've got two short EPs, both of 2 tracks. The first half is about 16 minutes, the second half is about 8, and they're quite different in sound, but I thought we'd lump these together for this video, so let's jump into the first record, Deep Space Invocations Volume 1. With an item titled Permadeath looming in the distance, actually to be released the day the masses storm Area 51, this dark ambient 2-track record caught me by surprise. It's reminiscent of both the StarCraft and Diablo original soundtracks, which Matt Ullman had a hand in both. It's janky spacecraft industrial noises and synths mixed alongside sinister strings, foreboding horns and eerily plucked acoustic guitars sounds like a natural allegiance of the game's theme. The two 8-minute songs share a brilliant aesthetic palette primed with complementing instruments that bridge classical sounds of isolated pianos and warning strings with gaunt bursts of electronic buzzing and mechanical whirling synths. It's held together with spacious percussive sounds, often lingering in reverb and leaning into industrial smashes and strikes as spurs of tempo muster up brief and claustrophobic surges of rhythmic pounding, mostly dispelling back into an uneasy temperament. The songs are lengthy, slow in pace, and forever brooding, usually on a sense of dread or void-drifting loneliness. The songs progress swaying from one moment to the next with no arching conclusion or consequence. These are snapshots of time, danger lurking, sometimes growing, too close for comfort but never arriving. Its underlying tone setter, the strings, sometimes pianos and guitars too, tend to linger on a few musical themes that lack a sense of evolution. As backing music, this undoubtedly sets a vivid atmosphere to be indulged in. At the forefront, these instruments' lack of progression or movement into an expressive phase becomes quite frustrating. There are many moments and opportunities for the swells of mysterious sound to bust into life with a melody or chord progression. That, however, is what made the aforementioned soundtracks so fantastic. This doesn't have to be that, but certainly broods a particular atmosphere ripe for deployment. Deep Space Invocations Volume 2. Being rather fond of this Doom-adjacent, darkly synthwave ride into the depths of hell, I thought I'd give some time to this new 2-track EP, having now built up an itch for the ever-delayed full-length debut Permadeath, set to arrive sometime in the future. Unlike Volume 1, its cuts are half the length but twice as intense, taking a massive influence from the Doom Eternal soundtrack. Gone are the acoustic guitars, soft strings, and general meandering into the unsettling quiet of space and nature. These songs ride percussive strikes and dense waves of synth to the edge of oblivion as danger lurks by. Its breaks for respite always pull one back into the action like a force of gravity. Its synthetic edge bleeds the lines between tone and force as it ebbs and flows in rhythm and shimmers of melody as notation whirls in its dark frenzy. It's always intense, like a spree of action, with moments to catch your breath, knowing you've got to do it all over again. Its reminiscence of Doom Eternal is uncanny. Although devoid of big chunky disjunct guitars, it follows many of the same tropes and tricks to create a hellish synth atmosphere for action and carnage in otherworldly environments. Track 2, Devastated, feels like a guilty partner for its blaring siren-like buzzsaw cutting in and out of focus like a heart attack. Going purely off of memory, this is either a lifted idea from the Doom soundtrack or a brilliantly crafted inspiration that would also fit sweetly into the game's audio, which in turn complements the gaming experience massively. These are two of Hexenkraft's best executed songs, yet closely ride the curtails of another beast. Most importantly though, they are fun, engrossing and immersive, even if short-lived in the 8-minute runtime. Its craft is focused and doesn't need to go beyond its means, unlike its predecessor, which felt as if it had room for something more. So a final note on these two fun records, I didn't realise we've been waiting for almost 2 years for that Permadeath record to drop, and I didn't realise it was originally planned for the storming of Area 51, which was, almost 2 years ago. How does time fly by, hey? At least we have fun listening to records along the way. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to see some more of my music blogs, go check the website out. Every page has over 1,000 articles sorted by artist, year, genre and more. Just hit Ctrl F and have a search for something that interests you. You can find a link to the blog in the description box down below, where you'll also find links to my other YouTube channels. Check them out if you are curious. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to subscribe to catch the next upload.